Hello guys, in this video we are going to take a quick look at what queries are and how to create a simple query in MS Access. We'll look at the types of queries that we have. We'll just touch on them. We'll look at the query designer, how to work with the query designer. We'll also look at the query wizard. Then we'll take a little bit look at the SQL language in Access, how to just write a simple query to fetch data, and then we'll wrap it all up. Let's dive right in and then see what queries are. So I have a simple table here. You can pause the video and then put it up for yourself. This is our ID column, primary key field, and these are all text up to here, number. So you can do that for yourself. So basically, queries are questions that we ask of our database. We ask of it, oh, who has the highest score out of these students? Then the database goes to data and then query them out. It finds out the answer based on our question. Then who has the highest class score, who has the highest exam score, the lowest, and then rearrange this and all those stuff. As time goes on, you have complex issues and you have complex needs for your data, and this is where queries come in handy. You can use a lot of expressions and a lot of criteria to get out a lot of fine-tuned data for yourself. Now, there's an in-depth query tutorial I'll be releasing very soon, so you can check out the channel for it. Queries basically, like I said, there are questions you ask of your database, and then it goes into your data and your tables, and then it gets you the answers. Now, we use queries in a whole lot of sense. You can use queries to generate your report. You can use them for your forms. You can even use queries in conjunction with other queries to create a new query. It goes a lot more than that. So we have different types of queries. The most popular and simplest one is the select query. Select queries just basically go to your database table and then fetch whatever data you have there based on a criteria that you have set for it. If there's no criteria, just pick whatsoever is there for you as it is. We also have action queries. Action queries include delete query, append query. We also have make table query, and then update query. These queries actually make changes to your database table structure. Either they delete or make some changes to your table data, or they add a new table, or just they affect your database structure. So we'll look at the query designer. We also look at a query wizard. So we're going to create a very simple query using a query wizard. Close this table, then I'll come to create tab, then I'll come to queries group, and I'll find query wizard. I'll click on it. Then we have crossed up duplicate and unmatched query as well as simple query. We'll pick the simple query for now to keep things simple. Okay. Well, under tables and queries, you can click here to find the different tables that exist. For instance, I have a couple of tables hidden. I have all these tables hidden from a previous lesson. I've hidden them here just to make things a bit cleaner for you guys. So we have available fields and we have selected fields. Now, whichever field is here, you can select it here for view. I sometimes basically don't pick the ID field if I'm not going to be using it in a programming interface or in my forms. I just leave it out. If I'm not going to use the ID, I just leave it out. That doesn't mean that whatever you do doesn't affect it. It affects the ID. I'll click on this double arrow button to pick everything out. I'll simply come back, click on the ID, and send it back out. So it's that simple. I have my student, term, subject, class, and exam scores both all selected. Now I'll proceed. So what do you want to do? Do you want to show the details as we have picked them out, or want to summarize it and maybe aggregate them? Well, just want to show the details. Go next. Now, how do you want to name it? Assessment query. I'll take away the TBL, which stands for table. I go like this. Or sometimes just leave the space out. Make things easier when you're programming. So you see that this is assessment query. It just picks out the data from the database just as it states. It doesn't make any changes to it. Now, if you are designing a form that's going to display all data, it's best to use a query because they are faster than you going straight to the table and then picking them out. So that's one advantage. Now, we've created a query out of the query designer. I'll close this and we'll delete it. We'll create a query out of, we created the first one out of the query wizard. So we'll create the second one out of the query designer. So I'll click on query design. Now I'll pick TBL assessment. Like I said, all the other tables you are seeing here are hidden. So after clicking on it and adding it, I will close this. You can see that this table is made up of composite keys, which I spoke about in the previous lesson, but we're not going to touch on composite keys, so it shouldn't affect anything we are doing here. So I'm going to add all these fields, excluding the assessment ID. So there are several ways to do that. I'll show you the first way. I'll double click students and see that it's dropped down here. That is one method. Second method, I'll drag it down. I'll just drag a term field into this empty grid. And you see there. The third method, we have the table row and a field row. So I'll select my table first, and then from there I'll select my field. So I have the table and a field. So I'll just double click to add this and double click to add the other one. So now we have student term, subject, class, and exam scores all selected. Now I can just view it and see that it appears just as we had with the query wizard. Now I'll click back and come to design view. I'll save my query. Assessment query. Alright, so let's look at some the code that was generated for us based on our selection in our design grid. And if I click here, I'm going to have SQL view. So this is the SQL statement that was generated for us. If you don't know about the SQL statement, you can Google for it. If not, I'm making a video on it also, or you can find some other resources on YouTube or other online sites. So back to design view. So this is a query, and then you see we can sort the information we have here. Let me run it once again. Notice that we have Daniel, Joan, John, Mary. Now we can reverse it. Start with D, J, J, M. Let me reverse that. I'll pick descending. The information has been sorted in descending order, where we have M on top and D below. There's a lot more you can do with that. So we can calculate our exam and class score to get a total score here. Like I said, this is just an introduction to queries. Right click in an empty column here, get to build, get to total score, then a column, then I'll type in the name of the field that I want, which is class score, then plus exam score. Now I'm adding the class score to the exam score, and together I am naming the field as this. So whatever the value is, this would be the column header or the field name. So I'll save it and view it again. So you see that we have the total score here. That is why mostly under database normalization, it is not advisable for you to store calculations in your table. So for example, I'm going to make changes to this 25. So right away this has changed, and is yes, this 25 will be saved in the table. It will reflect in the table. So I can sort if I want, then I can use a criteria. Criteria is just a way of filtering out or fine-tuning your data or fine-tuning your question to get a specific information that you want. So let's come back to run. Let's take that we want to see all those students that have passed 79, all the total score 79 above. So what we'll do is I'll get to the criteria row, I'll follow it down to the field that I want to use. So greater than 79. Now this is a criteria that I'm asking the system to follow. So if A, B, C, D students have their records total score above 79, show them. When I run it, you notice that only John and Daniel have their total score above 79. So, but not that these are the only records. There are more than this. Now if I come down to the SQL view, you notice that we have a new line that has been added, two new lines rather. We have where the where clause, you also have the order by clause. These are SQL statements, and like I said, it's pretty much very easy to learn. You can dig around the internet and you find lots of good resources on SQL language. So that is how you design a simple query in Microsoft Access. Now the rest are also here. You have the update query, delete query, make and append queries. These are all action queries. Now the difference between the action query and select queries is that select queries, like I said, only pick information from your tables. Then you have these two buttons. You notice that I have been switching between here and here. When I click on run, it just shows me the information, and when I also click on datasheet view, also shows me the information. With select queries, there is no difference between these two buttons. But with action queries, when you click on run, it executes the query. When you click on datasheet view, it gives you a preview of what is going to happen, changes that it's going to make. It gives you a preview of that. So take note when you're using action queries. I am going to create an action query just quickly. I'm going to create on design, query designer. I'm going to pick this. I'm going to pick the update query. So give me about five marks as bonus. So just a class score plus 5. So what happens is, I forgot to put this in square brackets. So what happens is Access will take all the class score for each student and add 5 to it. If I were to give a criteria here specifying that all those above a particular number, then Access will do that. So let's take, for instance, we want to give only 5% to all those below 60. So 55 and 25 will receive 5%, 5 marks free. So we say all those below 60. So now comes the difference between these two buttons. If I click, it will be executed. If I click this one and I pick data sheet, you only see the changes. Now you see that only 55 and 25 are shown because the criteria applies to only these two records. They are the only records with class score less than 60. So I'm going to run this. Update two rows, yes. So let me open it. So you can see that the 25 is now 30, the 55 is now 60. So that is with update query. That's the difference between the action query and the select query. You can also look around with the append queries and make table and delete queries. But I'm also making a very short video on these action queries. We'll look at the queries in depth and then how. Let's make this a select query again. I'm going to take away this. So if I have this information, whatever record, whichever field you have in. So let's take a look at this query again. This query we created earlier on from design view. You notice that we have each field in its own column. If I want not to show these two columns, I'll just uncheck them this way. Then when I view it, I only have the student name, the term, the subject, and the total score. But those fields are also part of the query. They are still part. So that is just a brief introduction to queries in Access. Check out my other videos on queries in depth, how to properly manipulate queries and then get a desired output out of them. If you have any concerns or any questions or any comment, you can leave it down in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.